Hey there, YouTube friends. Masked Bandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it. And welcome back to Conifer Slopes yet again. And oh boy, we have a big one today. I think. And we're going to do a test together at the end of the episode, but I think we're done with the western area. Which means there's maybe one more episode before I can get this all out to everyone out there on the workshop. And wouldn't that be super nifty? I think it would. Hi, welcome back. We've been going real hard. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing off the western area. There's lots of things that need doing. Like, Bandit. We need to do the queue. We're going to redo the queue. This thing, ooh, get out of here. That is ugly. I do like the actual station. We need to do some color changing. We need to do some custom supporting of some of the coaster, not all of the coaster, don't get too excited. We need to fill in all the gaps and round out all the edges. We need to give signs to the rides that don't have them and name them that don't have names. And we need to tidy up this area. We need to add the entrance gate over here. We're gonna copy what we have over here with the Crimson Canyon sign, and we're gonna stick it over there. So we've got lots to do. The problem is with these kinds of cleanup episodes, sometimes what's been done is hiding. It's a lot harder to see it. So I'll do my best to notice the changes myself so I can bring them in and show them to you. And I will also try to make sure that I'm only bringing you back when there are noticeable changes. Because sometimes when I save multiple versions of the file. Even I have a hard time telling what's different between the different versions. So, with all that being said, we need to do our backstage area. We need to put roofs on everything, put backs on everything. We got work to do. Gotta tidy this up. This is oogly. This is really gross. So why don't we go along and see what our first cleanup pass will get us. All right, I think I'll bring you back in here. I had to go through, I think, 3 different files before I found enough to, bring you back in. So here we have, you'll notice there are no more gaps in the path. See? Well, there are when you get far away, like up there. But they go away. There are no more gaps in the path. They all go away. Isn't that lovely? Still no backstage, you'll see. But now, and what I've done with most of them, the problem is this ground is not completely even. So my old trick, many moons ago, when I first started Conifer Slopes, that's the wrong way. To cover up the gaps, I used in-game walls. Well, if I show you, these are just the smooth concrete walls. Rough. These are rough concrete walls. Well, that's silly of me. I use smooth concrete walls now. The problem is it is not completely even here because of the water ride and some other reasons. So what I've ended up doing is using mostly the adventure pieces, the ungridded adventure wall pieces, and having it snap to the terrain and then ever so gently sinking them in. It's noticeable when you're looking for them, but if we're just kind of cruising through the area here, I don't think you really notice it. So, or it's at least a lot less noticeable. We'll play it off as like they're potholes or just path repair throughout the years or something. I don't know, something like that. That sounds about good. I did go ahead and clean up this area now. I like this a lot better. It feels much more legitimate now. I pushed the rocks in a little bit further, and we gave ourselves a proper backstage here. If you look now, if we were to come through here, there is actually a proper backstage area with a door. I don't think I put the backs on yet. No, I haven't put the backs on yet, but now this area, and we dressed this up a little so that you're not just staring at a giant, you are staring at a wall, but at least there's some ivy on the wall now, right? So that's better, I guess. But the main attraction here, the main thing to look at here is the coaster. You will notice it looks a little better. I think it does. Shout out to the folks at Pro Nation. When I tried to custom support it, they said I was using too skinny of supports, and they were right. So I beefed everything up with a thicker custom set of B&M supports. It looks a lot better now. So now the lift actually makes sense, and it's got the chain return, and I think this is the good enough category that I am comfortable with. Still haven't done anything with the queue yet, but I also had to, in a couple places, add some supports. If you look carefully, you might see some, like over here. I had to add this guy because it was spanning the water. I had to add some on the return trip, but the main one here was this turnaround inspired by Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. I realize it's not quite as correct. It's not quite the same as theirs, but I did the best I could with what I had, because custom supporting is terrible. I hate doing it, and so I had to do the turnaround otherwise, because it looked really dumb without it. I think it looks a lot better now. I love the supports that are all pointing towards the center here. That's kind of a cool look. And now we can see when we come in here into Jaunty's area, that turnaround as it peaks above just looks a lot more completed. I think it looks a lot better. So another thing I did that's not in the western area but I thought was cute is I added our little entertainer here. I put a path on the stage, and I had an entertainment point for someone to actually come look at her, so they'll interact with her. I'm paying her as much as physically possible, and I am also training her to be max trained so she doesn't complain. The train here, if we are looking at the choo-choo train, we have a station hidden. This is not completed, nor will it probably be completed for the release of the file, but I've decided that I'm going to have one more area right back here. We're going to have ourselves one more area. It's going to be a spooky fantasy area back here, and that will be the last area of Conifer Slopes. But I will release the file once everything that is currently visible is all tidied up, and you can see this big area right here is not all tidied up. So that's the big change so far. We custom supported and we covered up all the paths. This took a long time. This is not something that just happens quickly. So threw a couple more ropes and things around and some more clutter to kind of bring it back into the Wild West steampunk as opposed to more traditional steampunk. So hopefully that makes sense to y'all. And now we're going to start adding some custom signs, and we're going to start revamping Bandit's queue. And I think I'm going to bring you in, once most of that is done. We're going to revamp the queue, and we'll talk about it, and we're going to add some ride signs. So let's see what all that looks like. Alrighty, so let's start here with our other entrance into Crimson Canyon. It's the same sign, we just did a little bit different rock work. It is right here by this troika, which I do like there, by the way. Now we need to figure out how to dress this area up between Jaunty's area and the Wild West area. Probably thinking bird stuff, because we got the bird show here, which is kind of fun. And we can like theme this to vultures or something. I don't know. Kind of that's what's spinning around in my head. If you got good ideas for what to do here, let me know. It's kind of an awkward area. I don't want to touch anything that Jaunty did. But we have this corner here. We have this strip and this area back here. We can kind of push back into here if we have to. But that's not really the focus. So let's go through into Crimson Canyon from this angle. Oh, we have our Red Rock River Adventure. It's completely legit, even though that it's under new management, heavily implying bandits. It's not done yet, but we do have our sign now. So we're going to dress everything up and make it look all pretty with curbs and stuff, but that's boring to watch, so I wouldn't make you do that. We're going to push forward, and here's our lovely well and stuff that we built in the last episode, and we come across to Twister, and here we go. Boom. Made ourselves a custom sign for Twister, grabbed some fonts from the workshop, and used some of the in-game like ruined wall pieces, and then threw some other broken things. Found a broken barrel on the workshop, found a broken wagon wheel. This is an in-game window. We got some spooky trees that like I maybe might be being uprooted or something. Just wanted it to feel like there was a tour, and we have some steam to represent the tornado, the Twister blowing through the Wild West town. This is a harken back to the Conifer Slopes from RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 days. There was a ride in the rebuild called Twister. I think it was called Twister. I don't know. But that was what it was themed after, was a destroyed little home from a tornado. So we did that. And over here, we have ourselves Mashup. Shout out again to I Want to Be Popular. That was just too good of an idea. I couldn't not use it. So we now have our sign for Mashup. That is the name of this fun ride. Mash is the step in distilling as well as brewing beer. It is the step that has the grain in it that the yeast will then eat and turn into alcohol. You call it mash. That's what the hot tea product, at least when I used to brew beer, and that's what the mash is. I had to have a piece of equipment called a mash tun, and that's where you sparge. There's lots of technical stuff. Never mind. It's called mashup. They're good enough. Our entrance sign, and I realized I didn't show off the rest of the queue here. We had this in last time. I just dressed it up a little bit. Added these interesting, I think they're from the World Fair pack or the classic rides. One of those two. I can't remember. And then just enter here. I did remove the fencing so you can actually get in and out. And I did the same for the exit. The fence is not blocking the way anymore. So that's good. And then we come back here to Bandit. And you can see this is all brand new back here. Look at the queue for Bandit. I put a lot of pebbles down here in this area where there would be maintenance crews potentially, or just because I didn't want anything growing underneath the track. So we went in and we added extra cattle pens, and we made it all legit with the chains and all that, so that you could reduce or increase capacity based on the crowd sizes. Through some really rough and ready coverings. Like I always put too much covering on the queues. I'm too nice to the peeps. The parks that I've been to, there's a lot of times where you're just cooking in the sun. I keep thinking about Steel Vengeance. They have tarps, but not as many as you would need. And I think I got sunburnt one of the times I was waiting in line. And then we come over here, and you get good views of the lift as you're waiting, and you get good views of that helix at the end of the ride, but that's about it. I think it looks kind of cool. It's kind of intense looking, and then we just dress it up. It gets real narrow here. I didn't add any railing. Oh, there you go. We'll have to add some railing. I knew I forgot something. So we'll have to add some railing before we release it to the workshop. But here's a better look inside the station. Just dolled it up with some lighting, some lanterns, and some hanging lights here. It is very straightforward. I think it turned out pretty nicely, though. You'll see we got the beams in place. They're not in the way of lining up, and that's always great to see. And then we head on back down this way. We have a Nathan there. We'll get rid of him into our lengthy return trip. I think about it's Six Flags Great America, my home park growing up. Superman Ultimate Flight is way back there. It's quite the hike to get to and from the station. So this kind of reminds me of that. Here's more of our backstage. I changed the colors on the transfer track, added some doors where it might make sense to have some doors on the other side. Added a little bit of cover, kind of brought the path closer to the building to give the train just that much more room to breathe. And then you get the area here, and you enter into the gift shop for Bandit, and it brings you back out onto the path. So that is the big updates here. We have our ride signs in, very pleased with them. We have our Bandit queue. We have just a little bit more to do as far as dressing things up, and then I want to bring some peeps in to show you what that looks like. I stress tested this yesterday. I posted it all across social media. You might have seen pictures of people riding the train in Conifer Slopes. Left to its own devices, this park will try to pack about 10,000 people in, which is way too many people, and they all make a beeline for Fisherman's Ride because it is just that amazing, and this whole area just gets absolutely slammed. And the train, surprisingly, tons and tons of people want to ride the train. So we're going to go ahead and jump forward, jump into Reshade, jump into the park with guests, and take a quick tour of the Wild West area with peeps in it. And and then that'll be it for this episode, and I'm very excited to show that to you. Well, welcome to Crimson Canyon. I think it's officially got the done stamp on it. I've gone ahead and opened the park and all the rides in the park, and I have set a guest cap at 5,000 peeps. So let's just take a slow stroll through the park and just take a look at what we have. Our restroom building with an actual backstage towards the Legend of Tombstone right here now. It does exist. Yes, it does. You can hear it going. You can hear the lasers shooting. That's pretty fun. I'll look at Hawk, which we'll fix up in a future episode, and the train line with peeps riding. Hopefully we'll get to see a train coming sooner rather than later. And we have our sweet Yums over here selling some churros. Dr. Ollie's steam-powered car ride here. The old condemned Steamworks factory with the intense kind of mad music playing. Kind of dig the way that turned out. All the games we added. We're going to take a right, and we're going to walk down this way. There go. You can see Bandit. Oh, man, that's pretty cool. Drawing you in. One of the things I did notice as I was clicking on peeps as they were entering, lots of peeps are trying to get to Bandit by taking the train. Exactly the thing we were trying to do. We made the train station real close to Bandit to encourage people to take the train, and I do think it is working. No line currently at Twister, a short little, just a couple people on there. And I have added music to all the rides, maybe not to all of the queues, but to all the rides. So as you walk by, you will get some different ideas of music. If we go into the stage show, we hear the old-timey piano music playing. That'd be super fun sitting here waiting for that show. Man, we built this so long ago, but now it's set, and it looks really good. Just one person waiting currently. Maybe we should put a few more down, make it look like they're actually there watching the show. The Winthrop Emporium that sells Western-themed gifts. If we come back here, here's our backstage area and our smoking area. I did go ahead and fix, the sign. And if we look back here, we do actually have a backstage area now. When I noticed, like on the Sky Ride at Cedar Point, there's these backstage areas that just house a whole bunch of carts. So that's what I do. I threw a whole bunch of carts and clutter and extra fencing and just random bits. I originally had a larger vehicle back here, but I realized there's probably no way to get it through this little gate. I'm not even sure that golf cart could fit, but we're going to pretend. You see, we got doors to all of our structures here. It is cluttered back here, though. But I would assume that's what that would be. It's really the only main backstage area here in the western area. Maybe not the most realistic thing, but hey, it works for me. Oh, look, a bunch of people just seem to have gotten off the train. That's kind of cool. That's neat. So you see them flowing. Look at all of them that are going to go to Bandit. That's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. So here's Dr. Ollie's Feel Good Tonic and Bar and Restaurant that serves wonderful food and even better whiskey, with our tribute to some friends in the community, and we've got our different kinds of elixirs, aka whiskeys. Here is Mashup. I added an area for our Western entertainer so that she will stay in this area as opposed to wander throughout. We've got more people getting in line here waiting for the choo-choo train. That's awesome to see. But yeah, we're going to follow this huge group back to Bandit. And we'll have a POV of Bandit at the end of the episode here, I think. I think that'll be a good way to end our episode. So let's hurry. I have triggered the crossing to go down when the train comes across. However, it does not stay there long enough, unfortunately. They don't stay down long enough. So it's one of those, it's going to have to be good enough. Let's take a stroll through Bandit's queue now. And we have a whole bunch of people. We're going to cut across the flowers. Don't tell anyone. Shh. Hey, it's our park. We can do that, right? So we're going to make all these people do the cattle pens. We're not going to do the cattle pens, but you get the general vibe here. I mean, I just think it's, yeah, this is exactly what I was wanting. I really wanted this to feel like a big old queue. Probably this time of day, this cattle pen wouldn't be used. So we can actually just go right ahead and skip all this. Those suckers are going to walk it. Ha ha ha. There it goes, up the hill. Yeah, it's pretty early in the day. They haven't, all the people that want to ride this haven't gotten back here yet. That's kind of interesting to see. So let's head on up. Still need to add the rails. I will make sure that is done before we, look, there's no one here. We can get a front row ride. We'll save that for the end of the episode though. But here you go. Here's a look at the station. Oh man. With reshade, it's really, really helpful. I think it's great. So you can see our transfer track back there in our storage area. And then we head back down, just like I showed us. We'll run down. Whee! Whee! Yeah, there's still a little bit of cleaning up I'll do off camera. Oh, the train is going by. Full of people. Look at that. Oh, that's so great. You'll love to see that. Oh, man, it's just the peeps add so much life to the park. Here's a look at the entrance area again. Bandit's Hideout, non-stolen gifts. I love all my goofy sign work. I think it's just fun to me. Let's have fun with it. So, oh, I added the music in this area. Got some mad scientist music, I think is what it's called. So that's what's going on here. Here's another look at that mashup ride. Now with the music, I think it's perfect. I think it's just right. Here we go. Here's the, yeah. Let's run through the area here. Do. Back towards the games. Oh yeah, here's a look at the side of the bumper car ride. And let's go check out, let's remind ourselves of the Dusty Spoon Saloon with the little show going on. Sell smoked meat, cold beer. And I can hear the spooky music coming from the Legend of Tombstone, the e-ticket. Probably more so than the coaster. The e-ticket attraction. Let's take a look. I might end up on the roof. Let's see. Oh, there's like twins. Look at that. This line will fill up so fast as they come through here. It's awesome. I'm so pleased with it. The peeps love it. It's probably the highest prestige ride in the park. Uh-oh. I'm on top of a building. Let's fix that. Let's name someone here. Tegid Cam. Back we go. Perfect. There we go. Alright, so there's a better look at the front of the Dusty Spoon. There's a little show in there, some live music, root beer, baked taters. Probably get them loaded with all kinds of goodies. I added a trailer, a bye-bye y'all sign to the back of our Crimson Canyon. And we'll save that troika for another day. You can see I've added sort of a graveyard look here to add the spooky factor. And then I did clean all of this up, the Red Rock River Adventure. Take a quick walk through the queue. And then we're going to call it an episode. But you can see how much more complete this all looks now. It's amazing what motivation will do, eh? Not being motivated for a super long time meant this project just sort of sat there. But now I'm feeling super motivated, would love to get this out to you, and would love to add just a little bit more to put a done stamp on this park. Because I've been building Conifer Slopes for, oh boy, 15 years? More than that? Yeah, and I've never completed it. So it would mean a lot if I were able to complete it. Boy, not much line here either. When I had it stress tested with 10,000 peeps, every line was just absolutely chock full. Love this view here as you get close. The Red Rock River Company under new management. Yep, get on your boat. Get on your boat. Yeah, it's so exciting. And then once we're done with the ride, all this fun clutter. Get some great views of the coaster, of all those tall airtime floater hills. Oh, there it goes. Perfect timing. Let's see. Oh, man, that's just great. There it goes. So alive. With people in the park, it is so alive. Let's jump out of Tegid Cam, and I'll show you it from top view here. You can now see our western area is complete. It is long. It is large. And it has lots of fun things to do, and I couldn't be happier. You'll notice I've also started thinking about a perimeter road with perimeter fencing. Just thinking about it, given the idea of it here. I don't know where we're going to go with that, but I do know that this is where we're going to end today's episode of Conifer Slopes with a completed Wild West area. Crimson Canyon, it's done. And so that means we're going to finish the wharf, tidy it up. I've started. Look, we added the little remote control boats, and I put a sailboat that I found on the workshop in. Changed some colors. We're going to probably redo this because it's bad. Look, I got to tidy all this up. There's more to do. There's more to do. But let's concentrate on the finished product. Ignore all that over there. Oh, my goodness. I can't help myself. There's just so much to do everywhere I look. But we'll get there. We will get there. So once it's all tidied up, I will ship it off and send it to you. Next episode will be another cleanup episode where we'll clean up. Maybe two. Might be two. Kind of looking around. There might be two. And then there's one more area to add to the park, and then we can call the whole thing done. I hope you have enjoyed the several episodes here in the last couple weeks. I've really enjoyed playing, and I've really enjoyed getting them to you. Let's take a ride on Bandit, to end this episode. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it. And if you did enjoy, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. If you aren't, I have a feeling there's going to be lots more Planet Coaster on the channel going forward. I'm in a groove. So with all that being said, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever. And I will see all of you for the next episode of Conifer Slopes. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.